So as you come down onto your back, keep a bend in the knees and keep the feet on the floor. So we start with our 100, but we'll just take a moment to find our body positioning before we do that. So making your little Pilates compass, bringing your thumbs to touch, your first fingers to touch, and bringing that little diamond shape down onto the pelvis. Heels of the hands resting on the hip bones, the fingers down towards your pubic bone, and a few tilts of the pelvis forward and back. As we tilt the pelvis back, we bring the pubic bone higher than the hip bones and the lower back melts onto the floor. As we tilt the pelvis forward, the hip bones come higher than the pubic bone, the lower back lifts off the floor. So just gently forward and back for a few more tilts. And then we'll start to find a central neutral position where our hip bones and our pubic bone are flat in one plane. We're feeling our pelvis, the back of our pelvis, the sacrum area really pressing into the mat. And we want to keep our pelvis neutral when we're doing any of the lying activities this evening. But anytime we come up to seated or anytime we come to lie on our bellies, we want to think about this positioning. We want to try and bring hip bones in line with the pubic bone each time. So then taking your hands, just bringing them to the side of the body, resting your upper arms on the mat, resting your elbows on the mat, bring your thumb onto your 10th rib, your first or second finger down onto the hip bones, and we're just doing a couple of rounds of breath here to find our rib to hip connection. So inhaling into the side and the back of the ribs, press your rib cage against the mat. Exhale, then draw your rib cage down towards your hips. We're going to go for 2 more breaths. Inhaling into the side and the back of the ribs, trying to press the body against the mat. Exhale, draw the front of the body, then the ribs down towards the hips. Last one. Inhale into the side and the back of the body, really pressing the rib cage against the mat. Exhale then as you draw the ribs down towards the hips. So keeping that belly engagement, that rib to hip connection at the front of the body. Keep pressing the rib cage against the mat behind you as well. Keeping the legs bent. The arms are going to be down alongside you, palms are facing down. We can stay with our upper body on the mat, or we can lift our head, neck and shoulders off the mat, just coming to rest on the very tip of our shoulder blades. Be careful of the neck here. We're trying to lift with our chest and our shoulders rather than lifting with any tension in the neck. So the chin is slightly towards the chest, but we're not creating any tension there. And then we'll bring the legs to tabletop, bring the knees to stack over the hips. And in the 100, we're just bouncing our arms like we're bouncing 2 basketballs either side of our body. We're going for 10 rounds of breath here. I'll count you through the breath, so you just keep moving the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly bring the feet back down. Let the upper body come back down. I think I forgot to count our 4th breath, but anyway, if we didn't do quite the 100, we did a 90 anyway, so that is a lot to get our body started. And Joseph Pilates started with that one just to get the blood moving around the body, so you might be feeling like you're feeling a pulse of blood around the body right now. Just going to pop on the air for us so we don't feel too warm as we move through. Okay. So if you want to hug the knees in or windshield wiper the knees before we move to our next one, just having a little pause. Again, Joseph Pilates didn't really have too many breaks in between the exercises, but this evening I will allow you to have a few little moments of movement. Okay, so our next one is going to be the roll up. So if you've joined me for class before, you might have done the roll down, which is half of this exercise. But this time we start on the mat lying and we're going to bring ourselves up to seated. Then we do roll back down through the spine, but mainly we're focusing on the roll up. So the arms are going to start on the mat above us. And then take an inhale, take your hands to the sky. Exhale as you lift up, coming back up to seated. Reach those fingers forward, sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale, exhale, roll down. We're going to go for 3 more roll ups. Take the arms all the way to the mat. Take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, lift yourself up to seated, all the way up. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Remember to keep the legs nice and long. Point the feet or flex the feet. Inhale, take your hands to the sky. Exhale, coming back up to seated. We're rolling down on our last one. Inhale, exhale, roll through the spine, all the way down. Hands to the mat. Take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, lift up to your seat. Inhale and exhale, rolling all the way back down. Once the arms are on the mat, take a little moment of movement. Bring the hands back down beside the body. Hug the knees in, or windshield wiper the knees, whichever is feeling good right now. Okay, on our back then, we're going to come to our single leg circles. So we'll be working with our right leg. We'll bend our left leg and bring our foot to the floor. Keeping the pelvis nice and steady, keep the pelvis in that neutral position. Keep pressing in with the back of the sacrum and the rib cage. The arms can be on the mat alongside you. We're going to lift our right leg, bring our foot towards the sky, point the toe or flex the foot. And then we're circling around in one direction for 5 circles with our right leg. Keeping the pelvis neutral, we're not trying to have much movement in the body. Circling for 3 more circles. And 2. And 1. When you get back to the top, reverse the circle, 5 in the other direction. For 5, keep breathing. And 4, keep pressing your rib cage down. Keep pressing your rib cage down towards your pelvis as well as towards the mat. And we're on our last 2. And last 1. Okay, right leg comes to bent, foot on the floor. Keeping that one there, then we're extending our left leg. Foot towards the sky, point the toe or flex the foot, and we're circling around the left leg for 5 and 4, controlling the body, 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse the circle when you get back to the top, and reversing for 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. Lots of movement in that hip. Bring the foot back down. Take a moment to move the body. Windshield wiper, hug the knees, whatever is feeling good, or even a long body stretch might feel nice after that one as well. Just take a little moment to release the body anyway, whichever feels best for you this evening. You'll have to forgive me checking my notes for this one because there's just too many things to remember when we move all around the mat. But we're going to come to rolling like a ball. I don't think everybody has done this one before, but we come up to seated anyway whenever you're ready. This one, we have to be careful of our back, so not looking at anyone in particular. Please be careful in this one. So we're rolling like a ball. We're trying to create a lovely curve in our spine when we roll back. Now momentum will help us to roll back and to roll back up, but we're trying to roll with control as well as using a little bit of momentum. So we're not just going to let ourselves fly up and down. We want to roll back up, and ideally coming back up where our feet don't touch the floor, where we're just sitting on our sit bones. This is our starting and ending position. Hands are just gently behind the back of the thighs. So we create that C curve with our spine. We roll the body and then we roll back and we come back up to seated. Trying not to roll all the way as far as the head, just rolling to the top of your shoulders and then coming back up to seated. We'll go for 3 more if we can, nice and long through the spine before we curve the body. Curving to create that C shape and then rolling back and rolling back up to seated. We've got 2 more. Taking an inhale, as you exhale, curve the spine, roll back and roll back up to seated. Lifting the chest, last one. Inhale, exhale, roll the spine and roll back up to seated. Well done. If the feet touch the floor, it's not cheating, don't worry. Okay, from here we're rolling back down onto our back and we're coming to single leg stretch. So our upper body can be on the mat, or we can be in that lifted position again, resting on our tip of our shoulder blades. Sorry, the hands are down beside us, not up high just yet. We're taking the knees to bent into tabletop, stacking the knees over the hips, reaching those fingers nice and long, and then we're extending one leg and bring it back to center, extending the other leg and back to center. You might like to take it nice and slow, exhale as you extend, inhale as you return, or you might like to just move on each breath, inhaling with one leg, exhaling with the other. And keeping the feet towards the sky if you want to make it a little easier. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, lowering that extended leg down towards the mat. That will challenge the lower, deeper abdominals. And as you take the knee back to bent, just stack it over your hip. Don't bring it any closer to your chest. We want to maintain a little lift in the lower back. We want to maintain the belly button pressing back towards the spine, the neutral pelvis. Keep breathing. We're going to go for last 3 on this leg, last 3 on this leg, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. Okay, drop the feet to the floor, let the upper body back down, take another little moment of movement. So our next one straight away is going to be our double leg stretch. So same principle as we've just done there, but this time the legs are moving together, exhaling to extend, inhaling to rebend. We'll keep the knees touching, we'll keep the feet touching, and again the upper body can be lifted or lowered. If we start to feel any tension in the neck when we're lifted, just let the upper body come back down, and you can still get a lot of abdominal work with the upper body resting. So when you're ready, lifting your head, neck and shoulders if you're coming into that lifted position, taking the legs to tabletop to start, point the toes or flex the feet, and then we're extending both legs, inhaling, return, exhale, extend, inhale, return. And again, keeping the feet towards the sky will make it a little easier. Taking the feet down towards the mat will make it a little harder. Working into those legs a little bit more, working into the glutes a little bit more, working into those low, deep abdominals. Exhaling to extend, inhale to return. Any tension that's creeping into the neck, just let the head come back down. And you can continue the last few reps there. Okay, the last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, drop the feet, let the upper body down nice and gently. Take a little moment for movement or a stretch, whatever's feeling good right now. So whenever you're ready, we're going to come up to seated. We're going to come to our spine stretch next. So we come up to seated with the legs nice and long. Flex the feet. The legs are about hip width apart, so a little space between the legs. Just keep the legs nice and active. They're going to stay nice and glued to the floor as we move the upper body. So we're just rounding from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the head. This is spine stretch. The arms are out in front of us, shoulder blades relaxed on the back of the body. We are going to draw the shoulder blades apart as we round forward, but when we start and finish, they're just resting passively on our back. So with your inhale, prepare, and as you exhale, reach forward with the fingertips with the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, restack, coming back up to that tall position, restacking the vertebrae. 3 more, inhale. Exhale, reach forward, lengthen through the fingers, lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, restack. We've got 2 more. Inhale, exhale, reach forward. Inhale, and as you exhale and restack, thinking about stacking the spine, the shoulders, neck and head. Last one, inhale, exhale, reach forward and lengthen. Inhale, exhale, restack all the way back up to a tall seat. Lovely. Relax the arms, relax the legs. And from here, oh, we do have another new one. Should we give it a try? We will, for the sake of it. So this is open leg rocker. So we did roll like a ball a moment ago. This one is another variation on that. And what it looks like is we have the legs apart, and we're rolling here with the hands either on the thighs or on the calves, and we create that same shape with our back, that C curve. We roll back and we roll back up to see it. I can't do it when I'm talking. Let's try it one more time. Okay, we're sitting here, we roll back, ooh, and we roll back up to a seat. We'll Give it a try. It's a little bit of a balancing one. Let's see if we can manage. Even if the legs are apart and we have to keep the knees bent, that's a great start. So just a little bit more unbalanced. Lifting through the chest before you start. Then take your inhale, exhale, round through the spine, roll back. And back up to a seat, maybe extending the legs as you lift. Lovely. We'll try 2 more. Inhale, exhale, roll the spine, maybe bending the knees so you can roll back and come back up to extension. We've got 1 more. Inhale, exhale, round and bend the knees if you like. Roll back and lift up. Okay, well done. Let the feet come down. And we're taking the legs out in front of us again. We're going to come to saw this time. So saw is where we're twisting through the upper spine. So we're twisting from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the head. We're twisting in our spine, but then we're adding spine stretch, which we did a moment ago, and then we come back up. So I'll show you just one on one side before we start. So we exhale to twist. As we twist, we take our backhand and turn it away. Baby finger goes to baby toe. We add the spine stretch over the opposite leg. We come back up and we twist back to center. So it's an exhale to twist. Turn your hand to the back, take your inhale, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. Don't worry too much about the breath, just try and get the pattern of the movement, and we will concentrate on the breath in the next few classes. So we'll all go to the right first just to make sure we're all going in the same direction. So inhaling in the center, exhale, twist right, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. Inhale at the top, exhale, twist, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, and all the way back to the top. Inhale, exhale, twist, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. Inhale, prepare, exhale, twist, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. We're going for 1 more each side. Inhale in the center, exhale to twist, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. Inhale in the center, exhale to twist, inhale, prepare, exhale, spine stretch, inhale, back up, exhale, return. Okay, let the arms come down, let the legs have a moment to shake out. You feeling okay? That one is obviously much slowed down. It would be a lot faster when we're doing it at speed, but we're just trying to get the technique down because we haven't done it that often yet. We're coming on to our bellies, so moving around to lie on the front. As you come down, we're coming to almost like a cobra pose. We're taking our hands under our shoulders, but as you lie onto your belly, just try and draw your rib cage down towards your hips. Try and bring the pelvis into a neutral position. Legs for this one are not really involved, but we're going to keep them gently active. So we're rolling our heels towards the center of the mat or the inner seam of your leggings, and just thinking about bringing the inner side of the leg in basically, and the big toes towards the outside of your mat. So the legs aren't doing any work, but they're just gently active behind us. So as I said, hands are underneath the shoulders, draw the elbows in next to the rib cage. In this one, we're imagining we have a little marble underneath our nose. We're rolling that marble up the wall in front of us, and then we roll the marble all the way back down. It's all about control in this one. We're moving on our exhales each time, so we're taking an inhale on the mat. Exhale, then lift your chest, lift your head, roll that marble up the wall, press your belly button back towards your spine. Take an inhale, exhale, roll that marble back down underneath your nose. Okay, 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift the head, lift the chest, rolling that marble up, press your belly button back. Inhale, exhale, rolling down, nice and controlled, all the way back down. 2 more, inhale, exhale, lift, roll that marble, relax the shoulders, grow tall through the head. Inhale, exhale, roll back down, last one. Inhale, exhale, lift, rolling that marble with control. Press your belly button back, inhale, exhale, slowly come back down. Okay, once you come down to the mat, stack the hands, maybe bend the knees, sway the pelvis, sway the legs. Take a little moment to recover. Okay, swan dive, single leg kick. Okay, so while we're on our front, we're going to be doing our single leg kick and double leg kick. I think I must have missed this one the other day when we were doing our other set. So the hands can stay stacked and the body can stay on the mat, or you can come to Sphinx arms, lifting the torso off the mat, just resting on the upper thighs. In our single leg kick, we're just kicking one heel to the glute, pulsing for 2 and lower the leg back down. Heel to the glute, pulse for 2, lower the leg down. Heel in, 2 pulses, lower down. Heel in, 2 pulses, lower down. So we're targeting our hamstrings, we're targeting our glutes. So as you draw the heel in, flex the foot, heel to the glute, lower back down. If you're finding that you're having too much effort in the upper body, in this lifted position, you can always bring the body back down and just rest the body on the mat. We'll still feel a lot of activity in the back of the leg, even in this lowered position. We're on our last few on each side. Last 4 on this leg, last 4 on this leg, last 3, last 3, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. All right, lower back down to the mat. Again, stack the hands, maybe bend the knees, sway the legs. All right, so we're going to do double leg kick as well. And there's a few different options with double leg kick, especially if you haven't done it too often yet. So I'll just give you all the variations and you can pick which one. The easiest one is hands staying stacked and the body staying on the mat. 2 heels come in, 2 pulses, lower back down. So that's the easiest version. And there's no shame in coming back to that one if you need to during the class or during the exercise for a couple of reps. The second version is in the same setup as we just did in single leg kick and just kicking 2 heels to the glutes like that. And then the third option, which is the hardest one, we have our hands interlaced at the lower back. We kick the heels to the glutes, lower the legs, lift the chest. Heels to the glutes, lower the legs, lift the chest. Okay, so whichever version you want to try. And if you need to move through some of the different options during the set, that's all fine. Okay, moving with your breath, exhaling as you lift the chest. Okay, let's go for last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Okay, release the hands, stack the hands, let the body rest or sway the body, whatever's feeling good right now. Maybe even pressing back to a child's pose. We're going to be moving on to our back anyway next. So if you want to come to a child's pose to stretch out the back body, that might feel quite nice. Or even a tabletop and a little sway. Okay, so we're on to our back again. So bringing our legs forward, lying all the way down. And this is one more new one that we haven't done in class. It is a little bit of a challenge. It looks easy, and I think then when you start doing it, once you've done a few reps, you're thinking this is harder than it looks. So options for this one are to have, again, the upper body on the mat or in that lifted position. You can keep your eyes on me while I just show you the demo first if you like. So we're either lowered or lifted. Then the legs are going to come straight up. And then this one, then we're just taking one leg to the chest, one leg to the floor, and alternating. So we want to keep the legs nice and active, lock out the knees, point the toes or flex the feet. If we feel any tension in the upper body, in the neck or in the shoulders, let the upper body come back down. Really stretching each leg into its maximum distance, so as close to the chest, as close to the floor as you can. Getting a nice activation in the hamstrings and in the hip flexors. Okay, moving with your breath as well. There's not one set breath here, just inhaling, exhaling, making sure we're breathing. Okay, let's go for last 3 on this leg, last 3 on this leg, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. let the legs come back down. The knees can be bent or the legs can be flat. Upper body is resting for a moment. Take a little bit of stretch or movement. And we're going straight to bridge from here. So we're staying on our back for a little while. We're going to go for 6 rounds of bridge. Our first 3, we're just going to be lifting and lowering nice and gently, getting some nice articulation in our spine. The last 3, I'm going to get you to pause at the top. We're going to work into a little bit more alignment, make it a little more engaging. So let's find our positioning and our alignment before we start to lift up. Bring the legs back into hip width apart. Your heels are not as close as they are in a yoga bridge. They're about your shoe size away from your sit bone. So a little bit of space between the feet and the sit bones. The pelvis is back in that neutral position. If you need to take a tilt of the pelvis forward and back just to find that positioning again, you're welcome to. But press into the mat with the sacrum. Keep that little lift in the lower back. Keep the belly button pressing back towards the spine. Draw your rib cage down towards your hips. Press the back of the rib cage against the mat. Open through the shoulders. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat behind you. Arms are on the mat and the fingers are reaching down towards the feet. Palms are facing down. Maybe lifting the head slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck, just so that we can maintain that nice long neck at the back. Okay, that's our starting position, and this is where we'll end as well each time we come back down into the bridge. So when you're ready, take an inhale. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis, peel your spine off the mat. Coming all the way up just to rest on the shoulder blades. Squeeze the glutes at the top, lift the hips a little higher. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly bring the body back down. 1 vertebrae at a time, melting back down onto the mat. Pelvis comes down, lower back lifts. We're preparing again with another inhale. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, slowly peel the body back off the mat. Nice slow movements here, trying to think about 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, exhale, tilt your pelvis under and slowly bring the body down. And then the lower back comes down, the pelvis comes down last, and the lower back lifts. Take another inhale. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, peel your body off the mat. Inhale at the top to prepare. Exhale, tilt the pelvis and slowly bring the body down. We tilt the pelvis first at the top and the bottom so that it's the first thing to come off the mat and the last thing to come back down. Okay, 3 more, this time with a pause at the top. Inhale. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, coming all the way up into your bridge. Holding at the top, now keep breathing. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Press your kneecaps forward towards the front of the room. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips a little higher. Press the belly button back towards the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly tilt your pelvis and bring the body back down with control all the way back down to the mat. Once the pelvis is down, take a little moment, release the lower back. We've got 2 more with that pause. Take an inhale. Exhale, tilt the pelvis all the way up into bridge. Resting on the shoulder blades. Keep breathing at the top. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Lengthen the kneecaps towards the front of the room. Really feeling those hip flexors at the front of the thighs opening up. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the hips a little higher. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Keep the ribs tucking down to your hips. Open through your shoulders. Lengthen through your fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale. Slowly bring the body back down. 1 vertebrae at a time. All the way back down. Lower back lifts off the mat as the pelvis comes back to position. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, peel the body off the mat. All the way up. Pausing at the top, keep breathing. Inner thighs towards each other, kneecaps to the front of the room. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Open through the shoulders, lengthen through the neck. Lengthen through the fingertips down towards your feet. As you find all those positionings towards the back of the body, be careful we don't flare the ribs. Press the rib cage down towards your hip bones. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Last time to squeeze the glutes and lift the hips. And then take an inhale. Exhale, slowly bring the body back down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Pelvis is down, and this time you can take some movement. Windshield wiper the knees or hug the knees into the chest. When we push ourselves to 6 rounds of bridge, we really start to feel it. Well done, everybody. All right. So we're going to seated spine twist, and then we have a little bit of side lying work. Okay. When you're ready, come up to seated. And we're taking the legs long in front of us again. Legs are about hip width apart. And this time we're just twisting a little bit like part of saw that we did already. We're just twisting from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the head. It's just a twist and a pulse. So we'll be taking our arms out to the sides. They're slightly forward of our body. And we're taking an inhale in the center. We're all going to turn to the right first. So inhale, exhale, twist right, pulse as we exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale and pulse. Inhale back to center. Exhale and pulse. Inhale back to center. Exhale and pulse. Inhale back to center. Keep the lower body nice and flat. The legs and the spine nice and elongated so that we can keep everything stable in the lower body. We're just twisting from the bottom of the rib cage towards the top of the head. Let's go for last two on this side. Inhale, return. Exhale and pulse. Inhale, return. Last one each side. Exhale as we twist. Inhale, return. Exhale, twist. Inhale, return. Let the arms come down. Roll the shoulders. Maybe give the legs a little wiggle as well. Okay, we're into our side lying. So there's different variations of side lying. The simplest ones that we've been doing are where the arm is extended and we're lying our head onto our arm. The next hardest would be having your forearm on the mat and your elbow underneath your shoulder. And the hardest version in mat Pilates would be using your elbow and you have your other elbow here, and then you try to find alignment and stability here. Now I find that one even myself quite unstable, so if you want to try the forearm or if you want to still be on your extended arm, we have done the positioning for this movement with our legs before, so that part isn't too unfamiliar, just finding your position of your upper body wherever you'd like to be. So the bottom leg can be straight or it can be bent if you find it easier to have the stability with the bottom leg, just having that bend. The top hand can be on the mat or it can be on the hip. So we're taking our top leg to about hip height. Slightly elevate your heel, slightly turn your toe down, and then we're sweeping the toe forward and the heel back. So it's like a little paintbrush action, toe forward, heel back. Just keep the leg nice and elevated, keeping it at about hip height. Rolling it forward and back, toe forward, heel back. As you press the heel back, remember to press back and maybe even take a little pause at the back. Activate the glute and the hamstrings at the back line of the leg. Nice and stable with the body open through the shoulders. Keep the pelvis stacking, one hip on top of the other. Keep breathing into the belly. Let's go for our last 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. All right, relax that top leg, rest it, tap it, whatever you need to do. And in Joseph's mat Pilates sequence, we don't do any other sequence on that leg. We're just going to roll over and do the other leg. So you can roll over to face towards the mirror, and we'll just do the other side. I'll just be in the mirror for your benefit if you need to see me, but you're probably pretty familiar with where you're going to be, either the arm extended or the forearm on the mat. Bottom leg can be bent for that extra stability, top hand can be on the mat or on your hip. And then we're taking leg to about hip height, point the toe, bring your heel slightly forward, or slightly towards the sky rather, and your toe slightly forward, and then sweep forward with the toe, come back with the heel. Toe forward, heel back. Keeping the leg nice and active, lock out the knee, keep the leg nice and long, that's it. And as we press it back, that slight pause at the back, activate the hamstrings and the glutes, and then slowly bring it forward again. Keeping the body nice and steady, but we want to breathe as we're moving. So tension is needed, control is needed, but we're not holding the breath. Well done. So you can see that we've been working on this one at a few different levels of our arm. We've been working on a lot of side activity of the body, and now this is one of the ones that he has in his series, but some of the other ones that we've been working on have just been for stabilizing the body. Okay, last 3, sweeping forward, heel back, last 2 and back, last 1 and back. Rest that top leg, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out, anything you need. Let me just check where we're going next. All right, we're coming to seated. And we're coming to our lovely teaser, which a few of you have met before. Okay, so the teaser shape looks like this. The legs are lifted, the feet are together, the arms are parallel to the legs. We're sitting up onto our sit bones, we're sitting nice and tall. So that's our starting and ending position. The main part of the teaser exercise is that we're going to be rolling up and down in and out of our teaser shape. So it looks like this, if I'll do ones that if you haven't done it before. So the easier version is where we bend the legs as we come down. So we bend the knees, we curve the spine like we've done before. We roll through the body, we keep the arms elevated, take an inhale. As you exhale, you lift up, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. The harder version, if you think you need it tonight, just to give you both versions, we don't bend the legs, we just round the spine, we lower down, we keep the legs and the arms extended, we take an inhale, and we exhale, lift up to teaser again. We're going to go for 4 if we can. Let's see how we manage it. If it's fine, if you're finding it too much tonight, especially after doing roll like a ball and open leg rocker as well, you might like just to come back to C curve. So just taking your legs on the floor, just rolling through the spine, take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, restack, come all the way back up to seated position. All right, so you've got 2 options if teaser feels too much tonight. All right, if you're joining me for teaser, we're taking our legs long, feet together, knees together, arms parallel. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, round through the spine, roll down through the body. Rolling flat on the mat. Take an inhale with your arms to the sky. Exhale, lift up, lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. Well done. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, roll through the spine, rolling all the way down to the mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift up, coming back up to teaser. 2 more if you have it in you. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, roll down. Inhale, exhale, lift. And last one, inhale, exhale, bend, curve the spine, roll down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Okay, bring the feet down, take a moment. If you want to stretch out the body, I'd recommend a forward fold, maybe bending the knees, just letting the body round over the legs, or maybe just a roll of the shoulders, whatever you think the body is needing right now. Okay, so we're into hip twists. This is another vigorous one. We have done this a couple of times, but if you haven't done it with me, the arms are either behind us extended, or we can be on the forearms. And if either of those feel too much as we start the exercise, you can always come back down to lying for this one as well. But if we're trying the challenging version tonight, the arms are either extended or forearms, and then we lift both legs, this time similar legs to teaser, and this time we're circling the legs together, point the toes or flex the feet. We're creating 5 circles in one direction and then 5 in the other. Okay, so if you need to come all the way down to lying with the upper body, that's also fine. So circling in one direction, let's move for 5 and 4, keep breathing, 3 and 2 and 1. When you get to the top, reverse the circles for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Ooh, hip twists. All right, lie down onto your back, take a little movement or a bit of a stretch. That one is tough going. Not only is it core, but it's like the legs getting a lot of work there as well. The glutes are working, the hamstrings, really all around the legs to keep the legs moving. But we know when we're feeling it that it's doing its job, so all good. All right, we're going to move to our bellies. So take your time, but meet me lying on your front. We're towards the end of our set now. We've got another about 1, 2, 3, 4, and a standing one to finish. So 5 in total. We're nearly there. Okay, so as you come down onto your belly, we're going to come to swimming this evening. So as you lie down onto the front, you're tucking your ribs down towards your hips again. Lengthen the arms out in front of you. Be careful as you lift the arms not to flare the ribs and not to lift the shoulders. Legs again, gently rolling inwards, heels towards the center of your mat, big toes towards the outside of your mat. We're lifting our upper body for 3 sets, lifting the legs for 3 sets, upper body and legs for 3, and then we'll add in the movement. So when you're ready, take your inhale. As you exhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Take an inhale, exhale, slowly lower down. This is abdominal, so try and press the belly button back as you exhale. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Upper body stays on the mat. We're moving our legs. Inhale, exhale, lift the legs, point the toes, flex the feet. Inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Okay, take a little bit of movement if you like. You want to stack the hands, or you want to sway the hips or bend the knees. So our last 2 parts are going to be lifting the full body off the mat. We're coming to rest on our rib cage and our hip bones as we lift the arms and chest, and we lift the legs. We're doing that for 3 rounds, and then we'll lift the whole body and we'll start to move the arms and legs in the last set. So think about a nice long neck as well. Keep your gaze down towards the mat. When you're ready, take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. Inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, this time when we lift up into that lifted position, then we're moving opposite arm, opposite leg. When you're ready, take an inhale, exhale, lift. Opposite arm, opposite leg, nice and slow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly let the body come back down. Stack the hands, bend the knees, sway the legs. There's always a lot of expression of exhale at the end of that one. Are we all okay? It's a tricky one. It's a lot more intense than we think it is, I think. All right. So on our front, we're going to come to leg pull. We're coming to the front one first. You have to be careful in this one, Kevin, because last week this is where you got injured in the back version. But our front version is basically a plank. You can be on the forearms or you can be on the extended arms. So I'll just demo in case you haven't done this one before. So we're either here or we're on the forearms with the hips nice and lifted. And then what we're doing with the legs is we're just lifting and pulsing for 2. So it's a lift with a pulse, lift with a pulse. So we're going to be lifting, we're going to go for a count of 8 in total, and then we'll be doing the reverse version on reverse tabletop, or reverse plank, I mean. Okay, so either your extended plank or your forearm plank, lifting and lengthening, press your spine towards the sky, nice and long through the neck, and lifting through your heel for 2 pulses, lift for 2, lift for 2. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down to your knees. If you want to take a child's pose, you're welcome to. Okay. We're coming round to a seat, and we're going to do the same exercise with the legs, but we're now in reverse plank. So there's 2 options here again. The reverse plank in Pilates, we say that the fingers can be to the side or to the back. In yoga, they tend to say that the fingers are facing towards your feet. So wherever you want them to be, whichever is most comfortable for you. And so you're either in reverse plank and we're lifting here with 2 pulses, or you're in a reverse tabletop. It's harder to pulse with the legs here. So I just kick out the legs straight and just hold it for a count of 2 as we extend. Okay, so you've got 2 different options, whichever one you want to come to, and we're going for a count of 8. So reverse tabletop, reverse plank, and then for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down, all the way down to the mat. Well done. Take a little moment to breathe, to release the body. We're on our last 2 mat ones, and then we're just coming up to standing to finish things off. We are nearly at the end. All right. So last little side body work. This one we will need to be on our knee and our arm. So we are almost in a side plank, a modified side plank. We're reaching the top leg long, we're reaching the arm up above us, and it's just a knee to an elbow and an extend. So that's what we're working towards. So whichever side you want to come to, we'll set our knee up underneath our hip, reaching the arm, the hand underneath the shoulder. Top arm comes up overhead, foot is extended on the top leg, and then bring knee to elbow and extend away. And knee to elbow and extend. Try and squeeze the side of the body. Try and bring the knee to the elbow at the side rather than towards the front. And we're going for our last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, we'll switch over to the other side, other leg, other arm. All right, hand underneath the shoulder, knee underneath the hip. Extend your top leg, extend your top arm, knee to the elbow and extend, knee to the elbow and extend. So we're trying to target the obliques here at the side of the body, the bit that is between your ribs and your hip. So it's trying to squeeze into that side body. So really drawing the rib down to the hip as you lift the knee to the elbow. Last 5, last 4, we're nearly there. Last 3, last 2, last 1. All right guys, well done. If you want to try find a child's pose, or if you want to lie onto your back either and do a full body stretch or a little bit of movement, we are nearly to the end of the active part. We're just going to do our roll downs and a little bit of movement to shake it all out. How are we thinking Joseph did on his sequences order? Does it feel different? Does it feel good, bad?
It feels good.
Feels good? Feels good? Okay, good. All right, just a lot of moving around and a lot of thinking for me, because I don't think there's any way you could really memorize all of this, because there's just a lot of moving around. Maybe I will remember it at some stage, but I like my little sets because I get to know what I'm doing in each part of the body when I'm doing that, and I can memorize those much easier, whereas if I have to move all around, it's a lot more to remember. Anyway, let's start to come up to standing. We will take our feet hip width apart. We'll come to the back of our mat. So we're doing 2 roll downs of our spine. We're imagining we have the little fence underneath, or in front of our rib cage rather, and we're trying to roll our body up and over that fence. We're rolling down and then rolling, restacking our body. And then for our third one, when we reach the floor with our hands, we're going to walk the hands out 1, 2, 3 steps. We're going for 3 push-ups, whichever version you want to be, on the knees or on the full arms. We walk the hands back 1, 2, 3, and then we re-roll the body all the way up to standing. So we're going for 2 regular roll downs and then 1 with the push-up. All right, so arms overhead. Take your inhale, and as you exhale, dive up and over the fence, scoop the belly, lift the chest around through the spine, bend the knees as much as you need. Hands reach the floor, take an inhale. Exhale, restack the body, coming all the way back up to extension. 1 more like that. Inhale, exhale, dive up and over, scoop the belly, lift the chest, bend the knees. Hands reach the floor, take an inhale. Exhale, restack all the way back up. Okay, 1 more, and this time when we reach the floor, we're walking out. Inhale, exhale, dive up and over. Bend the knees, hands reach the floor, walk the hands out 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Either drop the knees or stay on the arms and toes. And 3 press-ups. 2, 3. Woo, walk back 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Restack. Exhaling as you restack all the way back up. Take the arms down, a couple of rolls of the shoulders in both directions. Okay, time to start rolling and shaking things out. Right, let's take our feet to hip width apart. We'll take a stretch into the side body first. Take an inhale, take your arms overhead. Exhale, leaning right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, back to center. One more time each side. Exhale as you lean. Inhale to return. Exhale as you lean. Inhale, return. Let the arms come back down. A couple of rolls of the shoulders again in both directions. Take the feet a little wider now. Soften the legs, soften the knees. And we're just swaying to look over each shoulder. Swaying with the arms, twisting with the body. Relaxing the body as much as possible. Even shaking through the arms, shaking through the wrists and the hands. We're trying to release the body, release the breath. Release any tension that we have accumulated. Okay, last 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back to the front. Take a moment if you've lost your gaze. Take your feet back to hip width apart, and we'll just stretch out the neck, and we'll have a moment or two for questions before we finish as well. Okay, taking your chin to the right shoulder. Inhale, return to center, chin to the left. Inhale, back to center. We'll go one more time each side to the right, back to center, to the left, and back to center. Okay, chin towards the sky, but think about opening through the front of the neck and opening into the chest. So keep the neck at the back nice and long. Chin down towards your chest, lengthen through the back of the neck. Drop the chin as low as you can. One more time in each direction. Chin towards the sky, lifting and lengthening, opening the front of the neck. Chin down towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Okay, chin back to center. And then we'll take our right ear to our right shoulder. Drop the shoulder as low as you can, maybe raising the right arm. No, the left arm rather. Always one. Okay, back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Keep the shoulder down, maybe raising through the right arm. We'll do that one more time each side. Right ear, right shoulder. Lift the left arm. Center. Left ear, left shoulder. Maybe lifting the right arm. Okay, back to center. A couple of last rolls of shoulders. Maybe another little shake out, anything else the body needs. Tune into your own body now, and if there is any other stretches or shakes or anything else that the body needs this evening. We did work quite hard through that set. And as I said, I'm going to just press pause on the recording, so we don't need this bit in the recording, but I am still here for you all.